everyone, and welcome to another Client Spotlight series. Today, I have my client Rachel, who is going to be sharing with you the 3 messaging and marketing and mindset, messaging and mindset upgrades that she implemented inside the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind that created the result of her having opportunities coming to her, people sliding in her DMs asking her, how can I work with you? And now she's just like, where is all of this coming from? I've never experienced this before. And I know that so many of you want the same. So Rachel is going to be sharing with all of you what she did, how she did it, so that you can implement those shifts too. So Rachel, welcome. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's nice to be here.
I know. Okay, so introduce yourself to everyone so that everyone knows what you do, who you are, and what you do.
Yeah. So, you know how everyone has behaviors that they really don't want to have and are really holding them back? Well, I help people actually change those. Usually my clients are people that are very ambitious, they've got a very clear vision for where they want to go in their life, and they know they're getting in their own way. And so I help them get out of the way and get to where they want to go.
So freaking good, and you're so good at it. So let's get started by telling people a little bit about where you were at before we started working together, just so they have some context and really see what your background is, and then we'll get into the 3 shifts.
Cool. Okay. So I had been coaching for about 5 years, and from a coaching perspective, I'm very solid and I know how to do what I do very well, and I've spent loads of time and effort educating myself. Right. But from a business perspective, it was I was really kind of relying on referrals, which, you know, they don't steadily come in, and so it kind of was like, it didn't feel like it was growing or expanding. I felt like it was sort of dripping in. That's what it felt like.
Got it. Okay. And so you've been, you're like one of those coaches that's so good, so generous, so good at what they do. And so you had all the certifications, all the things, all the practice, and your messaging, your marketing was the thing that needed to get unlocked. And so let's talk about once you joined as a VIP, by the way. Can we talk about why you joined VIP? What happened there?
Well, I was just like, I need fucking help. So, I was just absolutely determined that I was going to join and I was going to make this work.
Yeah.
And for me, the biggest thing that I had an issue with was the messaging and being able to actually articulate my client. So I was like, okay, I really need Juliana's help. I didn't even know that I had one-to-ones with Parmees. That was like a surprise when I got my contract.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just determined that I was coming into this thing and I was leaving and I was going to have a solid business. So I was setting myself up for the, best. I remember I messaged you. I was like, listen, do I need to work one-on-one? I was like, I need help. So
yeah. And you went for it, and you guys, this is not a cheap investment. One-on-one for VIP, it's a $20,000 plus investment. And you just went, we didn't even have a sales call. You were just so certain and so decisive. And I just want briefly just to ask you, not everybody does that, has that level of certainty in themselves. So what happened for you? What were your thoughts behind making that decision that you decided that I'm going to do this? Yes, I'm worthy of having this. Yes, I trust this coach. Like, what was going through your mind in terms of your decision making? Just because I'm curious, not everybody, you know what I mean? Like, that's really powerful.
Yeah. I think it was because I had been trying for so long to turn this into a business. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it was like now or never. That's kind of what it felt like. And I had been following you for about a year. Mm-hmm. And I think what I liked was that because you weren't just like, oh, feel the feelings and they'll all come, like you did the energy and you had a really strong strategy. And you seemed to be able to kind of, whoever came in, it seemed to kind of work for them. Yeah. So I was like, this person knows what she's doing. I'm putting all bets on. I was just determined. I had just been trying for so long and I was sick of starting to try. And I was like, it's now or never.
Awesome.
I was just determined.
So what happened? Let's talk about the 3 mindset and marketing shifts. So let's talk about the first thing. What was the first thing that happened inside of them in the container that really helped you get this amazing result? What would you say from a mindset perspective?
I think the first thing was actually probably so when I am in any way trying to change, my own protective thing that I do is I go into perfectionist mode, and I get into like, sort of like perfection mode. And I was trying to refine my message at the start, like how I talk about my client. And I remember I spent the first half like this, like I really kept myself there. And I remember coming in to one of our sessions with you. It was a Friday session, and I was asking a question, and I was so in overthinking, and I was so in perfectionist mode, and I was like, and you just had absolutely none of it. Like, you wouldn't go on my story with me. You basically just like bitch slapped me, and I was like, okay, I'll stop it. Like, you just had absolutely no time for me being in that mindset. And because there was no space for it, I had to step out of it. And it's since then that everything really has started changing. So I think that's probably the first thing.
So good. So
The
good.
second thing, the
Yeah.
second thing would be just because as you're going on a journey like this, you're gonna have fears, or you're gonna have little bits of scarcity come up, or you're gonna have like doubt.
Yeah.
And every time that came up, because I was in this container, and because I was surrounded by so many calls, and my fellow like people in the cohort and the Facebook group, like I was just so aware of every time that kind of a belief or a thought came up that wasn't going to benefit me. And rather than running down a rabbit hole with it, I was interrupting it on purpose, and I was, working with it. And as a result, I've been able to really kind of create this solid, safe place internally within me when it comes to my business, so that even when I don't know, I'm still like that. So, and I think for me, that's a big thing, especially someone that will be an overthinker and likes to know exactly like how things are happening. So I think that is a really big thing, because when I'm coming from there, then I'm in the right energy to receive and for things to come my way, and I'm much more receptive. So that's definitely one.
So good. I love that.
And
So,
then,
okay, keep going, keep going.
okay. And so then I think, and then the huge thing for me, like I was just like, somebody help me. Like, somebody help me. Like, describe what the fuck I do in human words to someone on the street. Like, it cannot be this hard. Like, somebody help me. And I, because what I do with my clients, because what I do with my clients is I take them on purely internal transformational journeys. And I've been exposed to so many different marketing messages that unconsciously I didn't realize it. I kept trying to tie what I do back to something on the outside, like, oh, I'm trying to help you leave your job, or I'm trying to help you move into a relationship, or I'm trying to whatever. And it's really, I help you with the part that comes before that. And I think having the expertise of like you and Parmise, especially in the messaging and marketing pieces, I brought in my word vomit to. I was like so frustrated. Like, I was wound up like this.
Yeah.
And I remember she's like, yeah, you were, girl. And then
Yeah.
I brought it into Parmise, and she just like, without even, sort of like breathing, was like, oh yeah, I see what the problem is. You're just doing this when you should be doing this. And it was just like the heavens opened. It was like, yes, that's who my client is. And it was actually being able to articulate it, actually being able to write content. And it was the first time I thought, that's what I do. Yeah. That's what I do. Like, right. Yes. So, yeah. So those are the things. Those are some of the things.
Oh my God. That is so good. And just for everyone who's watching, like, I just want you to know that if there's a part of you that feels like I gotta be able to clarify the way that I say this thing. It's such a yes. Like, it's so possible for you to do it. You're just so close. So to yourself, to your own gifts, that when you have somebody reflect back to you what they see, and when they know how to articulate things in a really powerful way, it's like, it's such a quick fix. Like you could have just spent so many years frustrated, not feeling understood, feeling undervalued and stuck. When you just have support, it's like, oh, it gets to be that easy. So it's just so beautiful. And for everyone who doesn't know, who Parmeet is, because you've mentioned her a couple of times. Yeah. So Parmeet is my copy coach for the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind. And so anyone who joins gets access to copy coaching calls. And she's just a word sniper. She's just amazing. She's the only person that I could trust my clients with, because I consider myself the best in messaging. And I'm like, I cannot hand over or have my clients be supported by somebody that I don't fully believe is the best too. And she's just so amazing. So together we give our clients the transformation, not just in their mindset, but in the strategy and also in the energetics. And so we have a really beautiful multidimensional combination that like you can really find anywhere, because it's so precise and fast. That's why the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind is only 3 months. We get so much done in 3 months. Okay, and so
but you should say more. Also, like every day, I'll sell this for you. So every day
please tell me the people. What would you like to say?
But every day you can give Parmeet your copy, whatever you've written, and she comes back within 24 hours and she points out where you could have done things differently or what changes. And that is humongous. Like, I don't think I even knew you got that before I joined. And that's massive to help you learn how to actually do it yourself. So, yeah.
What else was a surprise for you when you joined that really helped you, that you were like, what is happening? Is this really included? Because I only tell people, come join. I just don't want people who are like, okay, tell me all the bonuses I'm going to get. You know what I mean? So I'm like, come and then let me delight you.
So I think the quality of the material on like the back end, so all of the exercises, all of your training videos, kind of it's rare, I think. So I used to work in corporate, so I'm used to seeing things well done. And I don't usually, I'm going to get stabbed now, like see it in the background in other coaching programs. But in this one, it was just like slick. It was very, and just the quality was very good. But I think the amount of calls, I didn't know we got support calls with Tavona. It just felt, I had no idea how many coaching calls we were going to have. I don't know. It just felt like there's always a call, like a lot of support. And it does not feel like you sort of, have one call a week and you kind of like deal with yourself in the meantime. No, this is another thing. Like, so if I ask a question, so we can always ask questions in the Facebook group, like you always come back. You yourself in the flesh come back and respond. And it's not like in other coaching programs where it's kind of like the lead coach, you kind of only have access to them, once every 2 weeks or something. Like you're very available and you're very, present. So, yeah.
So good. Yeah, and for everyone who's watching and they're like, wait, how many calls? Wait, that seems overwhelming. There's so much. No, you have a call with me every week. That's it. But everything else is optional. So you can come to the copy coaching calls with Parmeet if you desire. There's another one of my former Magnetize and Monetize students who's amazing at coaching, and you on launches, on mindset, on internal work, inner child work, but strategy. I mean, like, she's so amazing. And there's office hours with her. So if you feel stuck somewhere, you don't have to wait to get coached. Like, I have so much support available. That's why it's a premium container, because you literally get supported in the most amazing premium way. So anything else you want to share? Anything else that you want to... So think about the people that are right now watching. They're like, wait, can I really have people slide in my DMs? Like, what practical things did you do to really have people come to you? Because you really, on the Facebook group, you're like, another one. Oh my God, this is happening. Like, really, for you, there's such a big shift and transformation. And so let's talk a little bit more about the practical things that you did to have that. Like, simple. It doesn't have to be complicated, right? Because I don't do things complicated. But what did you do? Because people love to know what did you do?
Yeah. So I stopped procrastinating. I stopped trying to get everything perfect. I followed your plan for not only creating posts, but actually posting the consistency, posting in different groups. And I did not try to plan where people were going to come from. Like, I just kind of put it out there. Yes. But then I do think a big part of it is just really being aware of my own energy, my own thoughts, what's going on for me. And if it's not coming from a clean place, like really interrupting and not letting that run away with things.
So good. And the last thing I want to ask you is, how do you feel about sales calls now? How did you feel before, and how do you feel about it after Magnetize? Because I know that that's a big thing for people, that they're like, oh, that's gross, disgusting, rah, 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 like I don't want to do it. And I'm just so in love with sales calls. I don't do them anymore, but I love the process. So what was it like for you? Because I don't know if you had a delicious relationship with that.
Um, I I was always very grounded in my price. But I think I feel I enjoy your process a lot more. And I like the way that you do it. And this is what really helped me. Now I feel like I actually know how to handle objections. Not in a sleazy way, and not like a disgusting way, and not in a way where I'm just trying to get them to say yes. I know how to handle objections in a way where I actually separate them from investing in this, and I allow them to actually see what it is that's holding them back. And as a coach, that really feels good, and I feel far more in integrity. So that's for me. I feel like I signed up 2 months early. I was like gagging to get in, so I've sort of forgotten life before, but like it's coming back to me now.
Yeah, you did sign up.
There's life pre-magnetized, and then there's life post-magnetized. And I've like blacked out a lot of them before.
It's good. Not a bad place to be. You're like, wait, let me remember life before magnetized. What was that like? Oh, that's right. That's so good. All right, my love. Anything else that you want to share with people about anyone who's watching, who's like, oh my God, I've been wanting to join for so long, or I just came across Juliana. Can I really trust it? I don't know. I'm on the fence. What would you say to somebody who's like kind of ready, but a little bit shaky in their decision?
I think that there's always going to be nerves there. If you want to have your own business, they're always going to be present. And, if you want your business, it's, are you willing to step forwards even though there's nerves? Or are you'll be in the same place. Like I watched you for a year, and I'm only in a different place now because I joined. And I knew for so long that I wanted to join. And it's just so worth it. And I mean, and everybody, it's not just me, like everybody else. I mean, and it's such a lovely group of people as well. There's like so many different, like Aileen is like my business bestie. Like, she's way ahead in business than me, but like every single day we support each other. And anytime I have a business type of question, like she's always like supporting, and like, so it's such a lovely place to be. And I think when you're surrounded by people that want it so much and are so enthusiastic about it, you're gonna, of course, go a lot further and show up yourself in a way that you wouldn't without it. So do it.
So good. We didn't even talk about that.
And I would do this rather than doing a bunch of 2 or 3K ones that aren't really going to get you anywhere. Because I think so many people like, oh, I'm afraid, so instead I'll invest this little bit, and then if I don't get where I want to go, it's okay because it's only 3K. Okay, but you could join Magnetize and you could just make it back.
Right. Oh my God. So good.
Yeah.
I saw a friend of mine share that the other day. It's like the amount we end up paying more when we try to go cheaper. We like, if you add everything up, it's like, oh my God, I've spent $30,000 in this or in that, and like I'm not where I want to be. And a lot of people come to me like jaded a little bit from having invested in this little 5K here, 2K here, 1K here, $100 here and there. And it's like, just come get the full shebang in one place, be supported, get it all over and done with in one go. Let's go. Right? Like it's all so supportive. You get everything you need. And not everybody's at the same income level, which is exactly what I love about the program, because we have people who are going for their first 10K months and people who are going for 100K months, for like 50K months, for 20K months, like for their biggest next level. But what everyone has in common is I want to attract a higher level quality of client. I want them to come to me. I want to have a really smooth, easeful process for people to go from like being a stranger to being a client. I want to know how to articulate what I do in such a powerful way that people want to pay me more. And so we give you that inside Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind, and we didn't even talk about the group, but that's okay because the group is such a vibe. Can we just say last thing, like how does it feel to be in the group? Like tell me what you see so that people get the vibe of the community that they'll have access to.
So anytime, so we always share any kind of like a win we have or any discovery or any question, and it's always just everybody, no matter, there could be people in there that are already making like 7 figures or like high 6 figures, or there could be people in there that are like, like you said, much newer. But everybody is such an accepting place and a welcoming place and a celebratory place. Everybody will come in and support and be like congratulating and encouraging, and it's just, yeah. And people will also share, like vulnerable things, like when they're having wobbles and stuff, and there's no judgment, and again, it's like everything is like accepted, and it's a lovely vibe, and it's also just a very excited, like happy vibe, because it's a bunch of people that are like, doing the thing that I always wanted to do, and like all of that together is, just like it's infectious. It's lovely.
So good. Well, thank you so much for being here, Rachel, and everybody go apply. If you're feeling the pull, go apply to the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind. I will be carefully reading your application. You are going to be asked to put down a $500 deposit. If I feel like you're a fit, it's going to go towards your investment. If I feel like you're not a fit, I'll be so transparent and honest, and that will get refunded back to you. I only say yes to people that I know are going to have an amazing experience, are going to crush it. And so just trust that I'm going to be giving you my most transparent answer. And if you accept it, I'm a full yes. So go and fill that application. We can't wait to have you. And Rachel, thank you so much for being here. Let's tell everybody where they can find you if they want to work with you.
You can find me at I am Rachel Curran on Instagram.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Anywhere else? That's good. Great. Or just add you on Facebook.
They can also find on like www.rachel-curran.com.
Perfect. So good. Thank you so much for being here. You're such a star. Thank you for trusting me, and for giving me the pleasure and honor to support you. I adore you. And that's it. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I love you all, and I can't wait to see your applications. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you for another 2 episodes of the Spotlight series this week. Mwah. Bye.